Bonjour à tous, c'est Oz. J'espère que vous allez bien. Welcome back to this series of videos in which we learn French thanks to video games. I hope you don't have vertigo because today we're gonna fly very high up in the sky with the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, La légende de Zelda, l'épée vers le ciel, in French. As you probably know already, each Zelda game is special in its own way, and this one is no exception to the rule. First of all, it was released in 2011 to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the franchise. To know that 2026 marks the 40th anniversary is honestly mind-blowing to me. Time literally flies by. Joyeux 40e anniversaire, Zelda! Anyway, the second important thing to point out about this game is its gameplay. Just like Twilight Princess a few years before, the game was released on the Wii with motion controls. However, unlike Twilight, Skyward Sword is entirely built around motion controls. So your Wiimote is literally your sword and you need to swing it the right way to fight enemies. Even though some players found those controls very frustrating because they sometimes felt quite fickle and imprecise, I personally enjoyed this gameplay very much. Obviously, there are many other things to mention about this game, such as its wonderful orchestral music, its impressionist-inspired art style, or even the introduction of the stamina wheel, but we're here to learn some French, so I won't expand on those topics. In this video, we're going to read not one, but two dialogues from the game. The first one happens when Zelda suddenly shows up to scold Cruz, ergo in French, while he's bullying Link. Qu'est-ce que j'entends?
Zelda? C'est...
Boucle-la, ergo. Tu importunes encore Link, c'est ça? En tant qu'élève de l'école de chevalerie, nous sommes tous camarades. Pourquoi t'acharnes-tu sur Link?
C'est-à-dire que... Ouais...
Je t'écoute.
Oh, finalement non, rien.
Well, before going any further, let's talk about Cruz and his cronies, Colin and Stritch. As you can see, they're mean to Link, but they don't seem neither clever nor frightening. Cruz is completely in love with Zelda, and he can't stand seeing her with Link. Hopefully, his attitude towards him evolves throughout the game, and he finally becomes a nice guy. Anyway, did you know why those three characters are called Cruz, Colin and Stritch? Or Ergo, Orbo, and Latruche in French? Well, their names are all related to birds, which is on point considering how important the sky is in the game. The name Grus comes from Bruce and goose, loi in French. The French name Ergo is a mix between Hugo and ergo, which means dew claw. You know, this extra digit that you can find on birds' feet. As for Colin, his name comes from Colin and co, the sound that crows make. In French, it's orbo, which literally sounds like the word corbeau, crow in English. Finally, we've got Stritch, or Latruche in French. They both come from the same bird, the ostrich in English, l'autruche in French. What an incredible trio of birds, don't you think? Now, let's go back to our dialogue. What I find very interesting is how different the French Zelda talks compared to the English Zelda. In the English version of the game, Zelda is angry, but she still talks like a princess, I would say. At the beginning, she's like, "And just who might you be talking about, Cruz?" But in French, she says, "Qu'est-ce que j'entends?" And after that, while the English Zelda simply says, "Don't even try it, Cruz," the French Zelda completely loses her temper with a wonderful "Boucle-la, ergo," which literally means Shut up, Cruz. It's familiar, it's rude, it's not princessy at all, but it makes the scene even funnier in my opinion. Second thing that I wanted to talk about is the filler words, les mots de remplissage. Cruz stammers a lot in front of Zelda. Il bredouille beaucoup. He says, c'est-à-dire que, ouais, because he's thinking about what to say next. But there are a lot more filler words that French people use, like tu sais, du coup, ben, alors, en fait, genre, or voilà quoi. Like in any language, I recommend you to learn those filler words because you need to be able to recognize them. You'll hear them a lot, trust me. Now it's time to listen to the second dialogue, which will be a good way to practice your French listening skills. So basically, Cruz and his lackeys stole Link's Loftwing and hid them somewhere in Skyloft. While Link was searching for his bird near a waterfall, Zelda arrives to help him.
Je savais que je te trouverais ici, Link. Quand on m'a dit que tu étais parti à la recherche de ton oiseau près de la chute, je suis venue te prêter main forte. Comment vont tes recherches? As-tu trouvé des pistes? Je vois. Il ne faut surtout pas perdre espoir. Ergo et sa bande se tiennent souvent près d'ici. Peut-être qu'on trouvera des indices. Allons voir. Ah! Qui est là? J'entends quelqu'un qui m'appelle. Ah! Excuse-moi, Link, j'étais dans la lune. Bien, allons-y.
So now, did you know what the expression prêter main forte à quelqu'un means? Well, the literal translation is to lend a strong hand to somebody. It simply means to help somebody, aider quelqu'un. But I like the image. Then you've got il ne faut pas perdre espoir. Il ne faut pas is an impersonal expression to say one must not. So the meaning here is one must not lose hope. However, it sounds a little weird in English. That's why it would be better translated into let's not lose hope yet. Once again, it's always important not to translate word for word from a language to another. It's the overall meaning of the sentence that really matters. Finally, let's talk about the French expression être dans la lune. Zelda says, excuse-moi Link, j'étais dans la lune. The literal translation is to be on, or rather in, the moon, which means that her thoughts were very far away, so far away in fact, that they got lost in the moon. It's like the expression to have one's head in the clouds, avoir la tête dans les nuages. So, être dans la lune is a very pretty metaphor to use to describe someone who's absent-minded or simply distracted. Et voilà! As always, I hope my video has been helpful and that you're still motivated to learn more French. If you have any question or if you just want to support my work, please write me in the comments below. I'd be glad to answer you. Thank you so much for watching and à très bientôt!